We are thrilled for this year's game. We are thrilled to have it once again in downtown Phoenix at Chase Field. And we are excited to have a 3:30 local time p.m. kickoff here in Arizona. For those of you who are from Arizona, we've been having kickoff times in the 7, 8 o'clock hour. And given that we have Rutgers from the Eastern time zone, those games have started sometime around 10:30 at night. So now we are thrilled to offer our East Coast friends a 5:30 p.m. kickoff time. Pleased for the matchup that we have with Rutgers from the Big Ten Conference and Kansas State from the Big 12 Conference. The Rate Bowl is the bowl season's only Big Ten versus Big 12 matchup, and we're proud about that one as well. So the Rutgers Scarlet Knights 7-5 this season, 4-5 in the Big Ten, finished strong with wins in 3 of their last 4 games. This is the second time that Rutgers will be in the Rate Bowl. And once again, that is the Rate Bowl and not the guaranteed Rate Bowl for those of you who have been here before. So we're excited about that as well. Coach, you have an exciting offense led by your running back, but why don't you tell us about your team and the excitement level about coming back out to Arizona?
Well, glad to. And I want to thank Eric and everybody associated with the Rate Bowl. I know our program, our school, our state is really excited about coming out to the Valley of the Sun and playing a great opponent in Kansas State. It's just really is special for us. And as you said, we were there, actually our first bowl game, my first time here. And what a great experience our players had. So I can speak to it really from firsthand. And tomorrow morning in our team meeting, I will speak to it. And really, really excited. I think our team really had a very, very interesting season. It was a year really unlike any other I've ever been a part of over 37 years. We had some incredible amounts of injuries and really had to reinvent ourselves as a football team, and had a little dip in the middle of the year, but came out of it stronger, and a lot of guys playing that maybe otherwise wouldn't have played. And you know what, finished strong, and now really excited. You know, our first time here, it became custom for our fans to plan their Christmas holidays around our bowls. And then that kind of went away, but this is back-to-back bowl games for us now. And this is something that I think our fan base needs to get used to, and we need to keep providing. So now to go out there and do a great job against a great opponent, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Coach. Before we open it up for questions, we ask if you do want to ask a question, please raise your hand on the raise your hand function and have your camera visible in order to ask a question. This is our first time running a Zoom in quite a while, so please bear with us if we don't do it just as polished as we did back in 2020. After that 2005 appearance here in the then Insight Bowl, Rutgers had their only meeting against Kansas State in the 2006 Texas Bowl, where Rutgers defeated Kansas State 37-10. We will now open it up for questions. So if anyone does have a question, please use the raise your hand function, and we will call on you to go ahead and ask one. I'm sure someone has a question for Coach Schiano.
Scott?
Yes. Go ahead, Jack.
Hi, Scott. Jack Magruder here from Forbes. Coach, I wonder if you could just talk about several things. Manong guy's effectiveness this year and what he brings to the offense. And it looks to me like you're really a ground first, play defense, run the clock, control the game kind of guy. Is that close?
Well, you know, Jack, I think that's a good question. I think first, Kyle Manungai is a fabulous player. You know, we've had a great time with him over the last 5 years. He's developed and become one of the best running backs, I believe, in the country, and has done a lot for Rutgers. And the thing that you love as a head coach is he's an even better person than he is a football player. So he makes you know, he's a great example for our program. But as far as our nature of our offense and our defense, we kind of do what it takes to win. And, you know, later in the year, we threw the ball more. I think Ethan Kaliakamanis really came on. I think our young receivers were forced into action and did a good job. We love to run the ball. We love to play defense. Kicking game is very important. So, yeah, we're kind of do what it takes to win. But, you know, if we have our choice, we'd like to be able to run the football. And in our conference, you have to be able to do that, right? You know, the weather gets pretty bad at the end of the year, you know, evidenced by our last game out at Michigan State. I mean, it was a snow globe the entire day. So, but I'm excited. I think our offense is getting better and better. It's been Kirk Shiraka provides tremendous leadership. It's his second year back, so now the guys have been through it for a second cycle, and I think they're just a unit that's on the rise.
Thank you. May I ask another?
Okay by me.
Just how did you guys manage to recover from a little bit of a skid early in the year? What did you say to help them through that, or how did you guys go through that, get through that?
Well, I don't think there's anything I said. We had like I said, unprecedented. I've been doing this 37 years. I've never seen the likes of it. The number of people that we had, not only injuries, but season-ending injuries, surgeries. So coupled with the normal injuries that happen in a physical game of football, we had season-ending injuries that really put us in a position that we weren't, expecting or prepared for. But a lot of young guys stepped up. They gained valuable experience. And when I say reinvented ourselves, I think that's just what happened. Like, coming into the season, we had a defense that I thought was going to be special. And then in training camp, we lose our alpha. Mo Toure was not only one of our best players, but he was the leader. He was the man. And then we had to adjust. And then we lost some other guys, and we had to continue to adjust. We lost our leading sacker, Wesley Bailey, from the previous 2 years. So, as things kept changing, we had to adjust. And when it hit the offense as well, then it was, hard to win games for a little bit. But I think we did. I think we reinvented ourselves. Our guys, the number one thing we were able to do was stick together. The big thing here is playing for each other. And I really believe if you get a group of men that are unselfish and play for each other, you'll figure it out eventually. And that's kind of how our season went. Sure, you could live in the what-if world, but we don't do that. I don't live in the past and I don't live in the future. I try to live, right now. And that's what I encourage our team to do. So we're so excited about, coming out there to the Rate Bowl. And I think our young players now have gained valuable experience and are going to do a good job.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach. Let's go to Brian Fonseca from NJ.com. Brian?
Hey, Greg. Couple quick ones. Do you have a sense of the seniors, particularly Kyle and Holland, guys who might have NFL aspirations, if they'll be playing in this bowl game? Have you had those conversations, and do you know which one of those guys will be playing?
Well, those are good questions, Brian, and I don't have any information on that yet. All those things are fluid. We have a couple fluid situations right now. Coach Harasimiak left to take the head coaching job at the University of Massachusetts, so we have adjustments going on staff-wise. We have, the annual who's going to play, who's not going to play deal in the bowl game stuff. So we're working through all that. Again, a younger me probably would have fretted over that after doing it so many years. You figure out where you are, and then you got to figure out how to do it best. And we're right in the middle of doing that. This whole past weekend has been that, and we'll continue until we kind of figure out how we're going to approach this thing. But it's coming quick. It's 26 will be here before we know it.
Well, going off that, have you decided who will be calling plays defensively in the bowl game? And do you have hope that you might have a DC in place by the time the bowl game comes around?
No, I don't have any answers for that right now. It's, as I said, an incredibly fluid process, and we are in the infant stage of it. So, again, you've seen me in the past. Sometimes it's immediate, the moves I make with staff, and sometimes you guys think I'm not going to do anything, right? But I just do what the situation calls for, in my opinion, and so I'm not going to predetermine it. We have plenty of good coaches here that can call the defense, and we have more importantly, we have plenty of good players that can go play the defense.
Thanks.
Thanks, Coach. We'll move on to Anthony Facilli from Rutgers Radio.
Greg, congratulations. Last year, obviously everybody knows how important the practices are. But last year you had a number of young players that helped you win that bowl game. Is that something that also now is the new part of college football? You got to put young players in those bowl games.
There's no doubt, Fooch, and it's a great question. I think, I can just, you remember last year when that interception, right? A key interception in that game against Miami, and who a true freshman, right? That makes a big play in the game. And I love that. I love the early stages of the bowl preparation where we just have young players out there getting valuable experience. And then every once in a while, one of them really pops. They've been kind of sitting in the incubator during the season, maybe getting a little, second or third team reps, but not getting a lot of game. And then all of a sudden the bowl game, they get pushed into action, and then you get to start to see really, who you have, who you recruited. And that to me is one of the fun parts of college football.
Next up, we'll go with Patrick Lanny from New Jersey Advanced Media.
Hi, Coach. I know you mentioned going back to the bowl game that you were first part of, right? The Insight Bowl. What's the significance of that? And I guess just what's the significance of that?
Well, that's fun. It's a good question, Patrick. I don't know if there is any significance other than I love the place. I mean, I love the city. I love the area. And I love the people who are involved with the bowl game. I mean, they do such a great job for their teams, for the families. Rutgers people talk so fondly about our time there that week. So I'm looking forward to, as many Rutgers people as we can get out there and, come from around the country, our alums that are all spread out over the Southwest and the West Coast. Hopefully they can join us, and just looking forward to having a great experience. And again, we're playing a really, really good football team that I have the utmost respect. Coach Kleiman, I've never really competed with him, but I followed his teams as a fan. And, they're just all those national championships he won at North Dakota State, and then what he's been able to do at Kansas State. Just as a head coach who goes home and after our games and loves to watch college football, I've caught some of their games, and really, really good football team that plays the way that I love. I love the way they play.
Thanks, Patrick. We'll move on to Josh Myers from the Daily Targum.
Hey, Coach. So for some of the guys on this team, this is their first postseason game. How important do you think bowl games are for the development of not just like the younger players, but just for all the players?
Well, I think it's important for a lot of things. I think it's important for the development of younger players. I think it's important as a reward for the players for a job well done during the season. And we work hard, but I make sure it's a reward. The day bowl games become a burden to players, you're not going to get a lot of guys who want to go to bowl games. We work hard, but then we let them have fun. And ultimately, the competitive nature of our program is that we do everything to win. So it'll be an awesome challenge because Kansas State's really, really, really good football team. But as I said, I'm looking forward to it and can't wait to get out there.
Thank you very much, Coach. And we'll go with Kellis Robinette. Kellis, good to see your face again from the Kansas City Star.
You, Scott. Coach, K-State and Rutgers haven't played since '06, but you were actually the coach at Rutgers back then. So what was it like playing against them in a bowl game? Do you have any recollections from that far back?
Yeah, it's a long time ago. But I had a lot of crossovers with K-State people over the years after that. So, I actually have a coach on my staff who was on that other staff, Dave Brock, our wide receivers coach. So, yeah, there's been a lot of crossovers. My quarterback when I was in Tampa, he was Josh Freeman, and he was the quarterback when we played him in that bowl game here at Rutgers. So it seems like my football career has crossed paths a lot of different ways with Kansas State. And, I watch them, like I just got done saying, I watch them play as a fan sometimes when I catch them on TV and just love the way they play. It's a team that I like to watch because they remind me of the way we play. Not necessarily schematically, but just how hard their kids play and they do it the right way.
Great. Coach, we do have someone who's having trouble raising his hand, and that'd be Chris Eisman from the Bergen Record. Chris, go ahead for Coach Schiano.
Greg, it's just, you kind of mentioned this earlier, but just the older players who obviously are getting this opportunity to go back to a bowl game. And, we talked during the year about kind of the resiliency that they showed and how proud of you were of them. I guess, what does this mean to you to see them go through this and get this opportunity?
Means a lot. These are the guys who took a chance on us. We recruited that first class in 11 days. And, there was no proof that anything good was going to happen here other than what we had done the first time when we were here. But things had really deteriorated, and for them to take a chance on us at that time, and now 5 years later, they're the senior class that kind of led this program out of the darkness again. And it's a player-led program. I rely on them so much. And guys like Kyle Manunga and Holland Pierce, and you go down the list. Those guys just provide such leadership on a daily basis that I'm thrilled for them to have this opportunity, and thrilled for our whole program, our fan base, our school. These are special. Some people talk about, well, with the advent of the college football playoff, bowl games don't mean as much. Well, don't tell our guys that. It means a lot to us. And, hopefully someday we're in that college football playoff. But this is our college football playoff. We get a one-game playoff, and it's called the Rate Bowl. So we're very excited.
Thank you, Coach. I want to go to Rutgers rivals and Alex Krause-Hamill.
Greg, you talked a lot about during the bye week, kind of stripping things down to the studs, and that kind of led to the turnaround. How do you kind of balance keeping up the development with the same things that you've been doing while also trying to stack on some new things for that development purposes of some of the younger guys?
Yeah, I don't know how many new things. You know, you always make game plan adjustments, little tweaks here and tweaks there to take care of issues or take advantage of something you think might be a situation where you can gain an advantage. But at this stage, you're not really putting in a whole lot of new stuff. What you're trying to do is make sure, especially in the early part of this prep, you know, fundamental development of our younger players. You know, they get a chance. It's a mini spring practice. We know we're going to have spring practice, but the early part of bowl prep is a mini spring practice to get our guys great work. Our older guys that are beat up, you know, they'll be doing work, but not at the level they're accustomed to during the season. When we get into install and then game plan preparation, then they'll go back full bore. But right now, it'll be the younger guys, and I'm looking forward to that because I love those periods where you can really teach. You're not doing it against a particular opponent. You're just doing fundamental development, and to me, that's the basis of coaching, the very, very bottom floor of it, and I love that.
Coach, thank you for your time. Before we move on to Coach Kleiman, is there anything you would like to add in final thoughts?
Well, I'm just really excited. You know, I really do. I look forward to the preparation, then I look forward to getting out to Arizona and really having a great experience out there with the game. And, you know, we have some work to do before we get there, right? Academically, we got a lot of challenges ahead of us, final exams and all that stuff. But we got a responsible group, a mature group. They'll take care of business, and then we'll go out there and have a great experience. So this is going to be a great month, but we got a lot of work to do. And again, excited to be competing with Kansas State. Coach Kleiman does such a great job, and their program does such a great job that I just think excited about it.
Coach, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your December and holidays, and we'll see you out here on December 22nd.
All right, guys. Hey, one thing before I get off, if I could, because we had just a horrible tragedy here in New Jersey. Brad Cunningham, who was part of my first recruiting class way back in 2000. He and Coach McKnight, who was a very popular head coach in New Jersey, and they had a tragic car accident. Those two and four others were killed in a really bad accident. And I just want to send our thoughts and prayers from Rutgers and from our football program and all their friends. Those are, you know, Brad Cunningham's one of us. So to your families and to everybody involved in Hudson County and Hudson Catholic football, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Anything we can do, we're here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.